Good morning and a warm welcome to you all to the land of social study. I am Mrs. Lily Solomon, your social teacher. Children, let us start with our academics today. Open your social textbook. Page, page 7, lesson 2, sources of history. Children, your diary will serve as source to know something about you. Similarly, the things available today from past through which we get to know about the past are called sources of history. Sources of history is mainly divided into two categories. Number one, archaeological sources. Number two, literary sources. Now, children, what is the meaning of archaeology? What is the meaning of archaeology? The study of the past by examining the materials remains is called archaeology. What is the meaning of archaeologist? The people who study these remains are known as archaeologists. Understood, children? Yes, I will be sharing some slides for your better understanding.
The sources like monuments, inscriptions, and artifacts can be grouped together as archaeological sources. We'll learn about them one by one. Monuments. Monuments could be buildings, forts, palaces, rocket caves, temples, and so on. These things tell us about the people of the times and how they lived, about their society, religious practices, and various other things about earlier times. Immovable sources like monuments, caves, buildings are protected by the Archaeological Survey of India. Movable sources like artifacts are preserved in various museums in every states. Example, Taj Mahal in Agra, Sun Temple in Odisha, Mysore Palace, Qutub Minar, Ajanta and Ellora Caves, Hampi. Next, we'll learn about inscriptions. Inscriptions are the writings and images that are carved, means carving, on the temple walls, stones, pillars, copper plates, bricks. These inscriptions tell us about the kings and their achievements. The study of inscription is known as epigraphy. Example, inscription on the Ashoka pillar. Next, we'll know about what is artifact. Artifacts are man-made objects in earlier times. They include objects like pottery tools, jewelry, coins, and so on. These things provide information of people that they lived during that time. Coins of the past will have images of kings telling us about the history of various dynasties. Now, children, we learn about what is literary sources. Literary sources can be broadly divided into three categories: religious writings, biographies and autobiographies, and accounts of foreign travelers. We'll start with religious writings. Religious writings give information about the religious beliefs, social systems, customs, and culture. They highlight the traditional values and customs followed in ancient India. Some of the books and epics are the Vedas, the Upanishad, the Ramayana, and the Mahabharata. Now, let's move on to our next topic, biographies and autobiographies. A biography is the story written about a person by someone else. Example, Akbarnama is a biography of Mughal ruler Akbar written by Abdul Fazil. You know, children, King Akbar was one of the most greatest king of Mughal Empire of India, whereas autobiography means is the writing written by himself or herself. Mughal ruler Babur wrote an autobiography known as Babur Nama. Now we'll learn what is about accounts of foreign travelers. In ancient time, foreign travelers came to India and wrote about our country and about our kings and their experiences. The Chinese travelers Fa Qian wrote about the period of Guptas, which was known as the Golden Age of ancient India. Huen Tsang, who is known as the Prince of Pilgrims, wrote about the rule of King Arshavardhana. The writings describe the dresses of people, the food they eat, the festivals they celebrate, and the monuments that were built.
Hope you all understood today's session, children. Until I meet you all in the next class, take care, stay safe.